Greetings and salutations, ladies and menfolk. Welcome to another episode of Game Break. I'm Charles, coming to you today with another episode of Dysfunctional Systems. Last time round, things went a little sideways for Cyrus and Winter. I really thought that convincing Cyrus not to shoot the president was a good idea. I mean, when does that ever end well? Yeah, considering how last episode ended, we white-screened because we inadvertently made them create a star on the planet. Now, anyone even remotely knowledgeable about physics and solar systems, creating a star on the planet you're living on, not the best thing. So it's time to jump back in and see just where we ended up. After the white screen faded, this is where it left off. So let's get back into it. The light became overbearing, blistering, and before it can consume us, we're back. High radiation levels detected. Please remain calm and wait for emergency medical personnel to assist you. It even irradiated me, although I escaped? Where is my mentor? The words come out on their own and are spoken in earnest. I frantically look about the room till I find that he is right behind me, crumpled in a pile and breathing heavily. I'm here, Winter. Are we going to die? You won't. What? Are you going to die? I don't think so. What happened, sir? The words roll up my throat as a stone, and I choke as they part from my lips. I have no idea why I even bother asking. Is it really all gone? The world was killed. Brighton had never tested their bomb, and it seems they overcompensated. A reaction that strong will use almost any of the lighter elements as fuel. So the atmosphere was consumed. It burned away in an instant, leaving the people to die. The next and last thing he says is spoken while looking up at me with bitterness and guilt in his eyes. I'm sorry. The pain and ache in his voice strikes through me and my heart thumps. I can't help but cry. I know exactly what happened. I saw what happened. I know what happened. To call this realization devastating would not be an appropriately poignant description. My heart feels as though it's bleeding, broken, and damned. I don't even know exactly what I'm crying over now. Just comprehending this is difficult. It's difficult. It's hard. Crying harder, my molars scraping together, I grind the lower of my palms into my eyes, trying to hold the flow back. I feel gross all over. I'm sweating cold water and feeling like mud. My stomach turns and my emotions rise even harder. But didn't we? Something wheels into the room, and I can't see it. I can only hear it. Taking my hands from my eyes, I see people in hazard suits walking towards us, with a trolley in company. One comes near me, and again my words spill out. We're sick, right? We're irradiated and sick. You are, and you'll have to lie on the ground to get better, okay? The other people in the room crowd over Cyrus, who decidedly deserves the extra attention. Will we be all right then? Yes, it'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just lie down. What about my mentor? We'll be taking him to another room to look after his deeper wounds. Now come on, you need to lie down. I do so, but fairly reluctantly. I feel like I'm going to throw up, and I've heard that throwing up while lying down can drown you. I don't tell her that, though, because I don't want to know if it means it's worse if I feel like throwing up. I want to think that I'll be okay, even in this nausea. I just want to be okay. The paramedic lifts my arm and inserts an IV into the back of my hand. I flinch at the small pain, feeling more sensitive than usual. There. It should be perfectly fine from here. We're administering a drug that will clear away all the radiation inside of you. It'll heal you rather quickly. We'll even stop the later effects from coming on. You'll still feel the early symptoms eventually, though, and you aren't gonna like it. It's going to hurt, and it's going to feel disgusting. What are the early symptoms exactly? Well, you'll feel weak, you'll feel dizzy, and you'll have a headache and fever. The worst of it, though, will probably be the puking and diarrhea. What? Oh... I'm sorry, there really isn't anything we can do about it. She places her gloved hand on my forehead, wiping away my sweat and hair. If you want, we can put you to sleep, and wait until the symptoms go away. I shake my head slowly. I don't want to sleep. I'll probably have nightmares or something. Which was this? Your second shadowing? Everything went so wrong so quickly, and I didn't even know anything from the start. Blaming yourself, are you? Come on. I suggested it. I start crying again, raging sadness, hatred at myself. And why? Because I don't take anything properly seriously? I was playing a game of words. I'm such an idiot. I told him to launch it. Why? Shh. Let's just stop talking about it, all right? I killed them. I saw it. It's like it's burned in me. Come on, you need to settle down. I shut up. I want to shut up. Talking puts vomit on my tongue anyway. Can I just stay here for a while? Can you speak to me a little? Sure. You'll have to be here for a while anyway. I'll tell you about where I'm from, okay? She does so, telling me about the northwestern country where she grew up. The vast fields and sinking meadows, the sheep and dancing breeze. Being from the Centerlands, I don't know the rolling, verdant hills and grazing animals she speaks of. I know only lawns and trees, streets with people riding by, distant mountains, corner stores, small buildings, and sidewalks with many faces, all a touch languishing. I mostly know my room, though, dark and quiet and calming, familiar and safe. I'm really back, aren't I? Cyrus and I lived. I stopped thinking and let her speak softly, brushing me lightly and calming me down. Feeling any better? Emotionally, at least. She smiles, and seeing this clearly without her suit on is nice. I feel like the most disgusting thing, but yes, emotionally, I'm much more all right. Thank you. Don't mention it. Do you want to get up now, or do you want to keep hearing me run my mouth? I like your voice. Thank you. I'll get up. I want to throw up. Now. At this, she jumps a little and rises, helping me up quickly but carefully. I waver and would be most completely unsteady if not for her hand. All right. Do you need to throw up now, or can you hold it at all? I have been holding it for 30 minutes. She sighs in a manner of defeat. You should have said so. I can hold it a little longer. I can make it to my room. Are you sure? Yes. No, but I really want to go to my room. It isn't like my room back home, but it at least feels like a proper place to rest. Okay then, we'll hurry on. Before we exit the terminal, I look back at the bloodstains which indicate where Cyrus once lied. How long has it been since he was taken away? Is he doing well? I hope that he is. My roommate is at her desk when we arrive, reading, it seems. Hey, Waverly. Oh, Winter, you're back. She starts to look up. How'd your thing go? At the sight of me, she flinches and looks disbelieving. Oh, cackle. She immediately covers her mouth upon noticing that I'm being carried by an adult. I mean... She stares at me for an incredibly long second before turning to the paramedic and gently placing her book down. Her mouth slowly hangs open as if to try to speak, but it seems she's unsuccessful. Do you want me to help you to the bathroom? Sure. Yes. Sure. My caretaker says nothing more and simply aids me farther on. As we pass by my roommate, she jumps to attention, starting up from her seat. Is she all right? What happened to her? Radiation poisoning. Waverly shrinks back down into the chair. Don't worry, she's not irradiated anymore. The lady opens the bathroom door and sets me on the tiles before the toilet seat. Leaning against the doorframe, she looks back out at Waverly. She's got the sickness, though. Yes, I do. Flipping the lid up, I immediately vomit into the toilet. It's almost like it's for emphasis. What happened? It'd probably be better for her to tell you. Anyway, you must be her roommate. Waverly says nothing, but I imagine she's nodding her answer, for the paramedic continues. Good. I'll need you to keep her from eating tonight. Wouldn't be any good for her in this state. I throw up again with impeccable timing. A disgusting, thick, and saccharine spit fills up my mouth, and when I try to swallow it, I feel like barfing. Parting my lips to gasp, it just kind of drips out, slimy. It's probably making me feel sicker than anything else. She'll be in there for a while, vomiting, and things worse. Just keep an eye on her. Make sure she's all right. All right. Anything else? If she's feeling real bad, I want you to call us down at the ward with your hall's emergency line. You know where it is, right? Yeah. All right. And one more thing. You've got to get her a good breakfast tomorrow. And make sure that she drinks plenty of liquids. After tonight, she'll definitely be dehydrated and more than a little starved. I want you to make certain she remedies that no matter what. Understood? Okay, I will. I feel the paramedic's gaze on me again. It makes me aware that my stomach's churning off noises. I hurl again. You're positive you don't want anything? Yes. Okay. I'm sure you've guessed already, but your debriefing has been pushed back until tomorrow afternoon, in consideration of your state. I'll be leaving you in your roommate's care now. I need to make sure your mentor's procedure's gone well, or is going. I hear Waverly gasp lightly at the second sentence. Can you tell him that I'm sorry, too? Sure. And hey, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand, I look back at the paramedic from over my shoulder. Feel better, okay? I mean, even more better. I don't want this getting to you. You should visit one of the counselors once you're able to. Don't keep it all inside. I lock eyes with her for a time, but eventually turn back to the rancid fumes of my puke. I'll try. I can feel her smiling. Good. Hopefully I won't be seeing you, girl. I hear her footsteps as she turns to leave. Take good care of her, okay? Of course. The door opens and in another second closes. I kneel in front of the toilet and retch a bit, wondering whether or not I'll be vomiting again. If this damn saliva will have anything to do with it, it'll make certain that I do. So gross. In nearly a minute, the sound of soft movement closes in on me from behind. Do you want me to rub your back at all? Actually, yes. I think that would help. Waverly doesn't hesitate to tiptoe to my side and bend down. She starts massaging me with one hand up and down between my shoulder blades. The feeling is great. Much appreciated. I feel a little more like throwing up now, which, come to think of it ironically enough, is all I really want. Retching is seriously so much worse than just letting it out. Thank you. Nah, it's nothing. Can you talk at all? Something comes up but doesn't come to pass, again. I heave a few times before answering her. I don't think I can hold much of a conversation. Try nodding, then. I'll just ask yes or no questions. Gah. How'd your mediation go? You do it? I begin the movement to shake my head, but stop, because I sort of did do it. Cyrus and I really did remedy the situation. Leaning my neck right, I kind of shrug. After all, even if we managed to succeed, it led to such an awful failure that, well, does it really matter? I have no idea what that is. Like, you don't know? How don't you know? Did you get knocked out? I shake my head. Then it's like complicated. I nod. We managed to resolve a conflict. Not the actual conflict, but an urgent one. Oh, crap. I hurl again, nearly pushing my head past the lid. When it's over, I rest my arms on the seat and my head in my hands. Waverly, frowning, continues to rub my back nicely. You all right? I can't really answer past barely nodding my head. Then I guess something bad happened after that. I repeat the same head movement. Waverly pauses, clearly not sure whether or not to say what she wants to say next. She eventually chooses yes. How bad? I look at her. Somehow, my silence and my gaze convey my message. For a moment, she stops massaging me and just looks in my eyes with a nearly empty expression, one of repressed sadness and of worry. Continuing her massage, she goes direct. What happened? The world ended. Still rubbing me, her expression goes indecipherable. If I had to take a guess, the closest thing I'd call it is scared. For several minutes she stays with me and keeps me relaxed, until I'm finally done with vomiting and ready to do something else. Waverly leaves the bathroom and allows me to sit on the toilet rather than in front of it, closing the door. I don't know how long it's been, but it finally seems to be over. After a brush of the teeth and a scrub of the skin, I feel as though I'm actually done. Not better, though. Not by any means. In fact, when I open the door, I nearly collapse. Surprisingly, Waverly is there to readily catch me. All done? I nod. Want to go to bed now? Yeah. Then get walking. Dragging you across the room doesn't make me feel right.
I can't really walk. Waverly frowns at my lack of answer and soon pulls me to my bedside. She then hoists me up and drops me on the mattress.
You brought that on yourself.
She looks at me sternly for a second before snickering. You're a wicked person. I can't believe this abuse.
I run a strict ship. I'm like a fairy tale orphaner, the evil one that everyone hates.
I really have no idea what you're talking about.
I was actually reading some of our foreign libraries, and there's a lot of stories about orphan abuse.
Why would you hate orphans? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why they're evil.
She smiles.
Want to sleep now?
Yeah. Well, no, but I think I should. I feel like a pile of dirt.
All right, I'll turn off the light.
I nod a thanks and look up at the ceiling as the room falls to darkness. I hear Waverly enter her bed with a squeak.
Hey.
Yeah?
What happened to Cyrus? Wasn't he your mentor today?
He saved me from an explosion of glass. The last time I saw him, he was irradiated and bleeding. Waverly lets off a breathy whistle.
Man, how did all that even happen?
I wish it was a long story, but it's not. It was very quick, actually. It happened all fast. It's just that there were a lot of things to it. It got really hard. It turned into a thing it wasn't supposed to be. I could have left, but I didn't. I wanted to do something myself. I sigh. I'll tell you more tomorrow morning at breakfast. How was your shadowing?
Compared to yours, it already sounds boring. I think all of ours were supposed to be boring. I went to a city and looked for a group of people who allegedly didn't exist. They did, and we found them hiding in shadows.
You went to a place with malleable physics?
No, it was rigid. It was some kind of science or something. And man, don't ask me how, because I have got no idea. None.
Huh. We both fall silent, but end up chatting again in a minute. I ask her about our classmates and whether or not they've any interesting stories from today. It's mostly dull, though, and I find that amusing. For everyone else, this run of shadowing was as dull as the last. In fact, the most interesting story came from one of our year's promising students, who didn't even have a shadowing this week. He's part of the group that does it while we're on break. It really is just funny. It's funny because it's kind of all just unpredictable. For some reason, unpredictability is such a silly thing to me. There's so much irony in that, considering today. Gracious, I must be totally losing it. That totally must be the case. The longer that I stay here, the stranger I'll become. Oh well.
And now for sleep. Okay. Wait. What? Why are we getting credits? Why are we getting credits? That can't be it. That can't be it. There's gotta be more. There's gotta be more. Don't you dare cut me off like that. Let this be a dream or something. Come on. Come on, dream. Nice background music, though. Okay. Okay. And wake up, please. Pretty please. Don't you dare end this. Okay. Scared me for a second. Okay. I think we're actually going to leave this off here for now. We're going to have to see next time round if Cyrus survived, what the repercussions are of all of this, and where it goes from here. Good lord. I'm glad that they at least made it out, but I don't know where they're going to go from here. This is going to be interesting. And I'm curious when the next series of choices are going to be, because it's been a little while. So I'm curious how that's all going to go down. But you're going to have to wait until next time round to find out. Thank you for joining me. Now, get back to being creative already.